Welcome back to Notes Architecture. In our last video, we followed the actual construction sequence to break down a pitched roof ridge with a cold roof. Many of you asked me if my design calls for a vaulted ceiling, where the interior space goes all the way up to the very peak, without that cold roof. How should the detail be drawn? This is a fantastic question. Today, let's look at this advanced version of the ridge detail. Look closely at this new drawing. Although it looks similar on the outside, the internal skeleton and the paths of those two magical red lines are completely different. Grab your pen and paper. We'll continue to use our 5-step method, following the construction logic to draw this vaulted ceiling ridge. Step 1. Let's build the main structure. Since we don't want a horizontal tie beam, how do we support this roof? The answer lies right in the center of this drawing, this massive and thick ridge beam. The rafters on both sides rest directly on this main beam. This way, there are no horizontal obstructions in the middle, and the interior sightline can extend all the way to the highest point of the roof. The skeleton has changed, so our thermal boundary changes with it. Now the entire space below the roof is a heated interior space. Step 2. Fill in the insulation. Based on the new thermal boundary, we stuff the insulation between the rafters. Notice, because we no longer have that unheated cold roof, our insulation can no longer turn horizontally halfway. Instead, it must follow the rafters all the way to the very peak of the roof, until it sits tightly against the ridge beam in the middle. This is like putting a complete winter coat on the entire roof, leaving no dead corners. Step 3. Let's work on the outer physical layers. This part is similar to our last video. After finishing the wood boarding above the insulation, we lay down our first red line, the breathable underlayment. It still follows the principle of being breathable on the cold side, blocking rain from the outside, while allowing any trace amounts of water vapor in the insulation to escape. Notice that this membrane wraps continuously over the very top, like an umbrella for the ridge. Step 4. Dealing with the sole of the pitched roof. Ventilation. We install counterbattens and roof battens above the waterproofing membrane to create a ventilation gap. Cold air enters from the eaves and carries the escaped moisture up to the ridge. Similarly, we install a breathable ridge roll underneath the top ridge tile. This allows the air to exhaust from the highest gap, ensuring the entire roof structure stays dry and breathable. Step 5. The final step. Let's head back inside for the moisture barrier and finishes. Here comes today's second red line, the vapor barrier. Because the interior space goes all the way to the top, this red line must also follow the slant all the way up. You see, as long as you locate the main structure and the thermal boundary, whether it's a flat ceiling with a collar tie or a vaulted ceiling reaching the ridge, the underlying physical logic is always the same. Main structure, insulation to the top, external breathable waterproofing and ventilation, and internal vapor barrier and finishes. The next time you look at an architectural detail, you'll be able to see exactly what each material layer is really doing at a glance. If you found today's detail notes helpful, don't forget to like, save, and subscribe to Notes Architecture. Every Monday, I will use actual construction details to break down the most confusing construction knowledge. Let's level up our detailing skills together. See you next time.